Hey guys, what's going on? My name is James Mason. In this video, I'm going to show you how to trade using the EMA lines, VWAP, MACD, and RSI all together. So, just for the purpose of this video, I'm actually not going to take a position just because I won't be able to truly focus, and there's honestly no sense of losing money just trying to record a video. So anyways, this ticker is NKE, Nike, and in my opinion, this works best doing it this way. As you can see, these candlesticks, it went into a downtrend, it broke past this VWAP average and broke past all the lines, and it's now down here way under your EMA lines. So right now you have to start looking at, okay, what is it doing? Where is it at on the RSI and things like that? So right now RSI is 41. I would like to see it lower, to be honest, before I would buy in. The MACD, it now has that dark red candlestick right there, which is kind of showing a little bit upward positive momentum, whatever. And let's watch this candlestick right here, see what it does. Okay, so right now it's trying to figure out which way it wants to go. The bulls are pretty much wanting to take it over, as you can see right here. So let's see what this one does. Now, so what I would do, I would honestly probably buy right here, and the reason is because this is on the 1 minute chart, and do I intend to ride it all the way back up here? No way. I mean, it'd be nice, but let's just say I bought there and there. That would be, you know, a difference of 23 cents. And let's just say I had enough shares to actually make it worth it for me to take on that increase of, well, not increase, that leverage of 23 cents per share. So basically, if I had 1,000 shares, I'd make $230, but at the same time that would be like $71,000. So this is basically just scalping right here. And you know, a lot of people, they pretty much just scalp for a couple pennies, but this is kind of, you know, scalping for, you know, a little bit more than that. So anyways, let's just say I would have bought right there at, where does it say? Okay, so it's 71.47. We'll just say that's where I bought. And the reason why I would have bought there is because the RSI was 36. I started seeing, you know, this candlestick wanting to push up, and you know, it done that doji over here, and basically I wouldn't have made the best entrance, but at the same time it's really not that bad right now. If this hasn't dropped so much to where I would have sold, because right now what will probably start happening, because it had dipped so hard and so fast below these EMA lines, is that this EMA line is going to come down, and once this candlestick breaks above this EMA line and closes, then you're going to start seeing a good uptrend, more than likely. So hopefully in the next minute, 2 minutes, we start to see it actually break across this EMA line, and let's see what it does. Hopefully it does that, and if it doesn't, well, we'll see what happens there. Okay, so RSI sitting at 35 right now. And the thing is, you just can't trade with like RSI. You have to look at the RSI, you have to look at that MACD, and RSI sitting at 34 now, and these candlesticks, they're switching between the dark red and that light red again. Now obviously the light red is not good. It's not what you want to see. But you are starting to see this change in momentum. Now, does it have to keep going that way and actually change? Absolutely not. Because this is still in a downtrend. But the thing is, Nike is a quality stock. It took this good hard dip. And this is what people mean when they say buy the dips. It ain't just talking about just any old dip. It's talking about a dip like this, just something that is almost just abnormal, but not so abnormal that it just doesn't happen. Like, this happens all day, every day in a bunch of stocks. So, and again, with like a quality stock, if you see it, take this good dip and it drops this far below all these EMA lines, you have your 9-minute EMA line break across all these other lines. That's basically in a quality stock again now. That's basically you would make a decision, to buy in here because you were buying that dip. And with a quality stock, it stands a better chance for it to uptrend and start filling all this back up, that it had lost that value in. So right here, you actually see that candlestick breaking above this EMA line. So, I mean, this is actually an outstanding run right here. And let's see. So it kind of started going up to this red EMA line, and we'll just kind of say that's acting like resistance at the moment. Let's see what this candlestick does though. Now, if this blue EMA line crosses this gold one, that will be great for us. You'll actually see a good run, and that next resistance, like I said, it was kind of acting like a little resistance right there, this red line. We'll see what happens, but let's just play this out just a little bit longer. But anyways, if you see this EMA line cross over this gold one, there's a good chance on the 1 minute chart that it will blow past these, and it will probably kind of come up here and start bouncing off of this average for the VWAP. So right now, we'll just say the average for VWAP is 71.65. Okay, there you go. So honestly, this is where I would sell, because each one of these lines is going to act like either a support or a resistance, especially this VWAP line. And that's something important that you have to remember when you are using these EMA lines to trade with VWAP included. So for instance, if your candlesticks are above this VWAP average line right here, this dashed line, and if you watch it throughout the day, and if it's just bouncing off that line, you can pretty much say that is a support. And so if it came down here and bounced off that line, then that's where you'd probably want to buy at, because there's a good chance it would go up. Now, contrary to that, if it just drops below that, basically this stock is having a bad day. I mean, just because it drops below it one time through the day, it doesn't mean that it's having a bad day. But basically what I'm saying is, if it's just struggling to get past this average line right here, and it just stays below this pretty much the whole day, then you get what I'm saying. So right now, this is probably going to start downtrending and break past that VWAP average line again. And like I said, I would have sold honestly right here at whatever price at 71.63, and I said over here that I would have bought in at 71.47. So like I said, like this, I mean, if I would have just bought 1,000 shares, that really wouldn't have been a lot of money at all. I mean, but that's kind of how like scalping goes, especially using these lines. Now, if you find a lower cap stock, make sure you have a lot of volume behind it. That is the only way this will work out for you. So that's pretty much how you use these EMA lines, along with the VWAP, the MACD, and the RSI to trade with. I know it looks probably chaotic, but it's one of those things that what you need to do is paper trade with it for a little while to get used to it. And it actually works very great once you know what you're looking at. Now, if you were, completely a beginner and trying to learn, this is something that I feel like would be beneficial for you to try to learn on. But if you want something just a little bit more simpler that works just phenomenal, the other playlist with the Bollinger Bands. It's really just 3 lines, and it's pretty simple to understand instead of having to know what all these lines are and everything else. But if you're going to short, this is what you need to use to short. because in the video for shorting, you have to look at this EMA line right here and your gold one, and that's basically going to tell you when to make your move. So right here before I end this video, as you can see how this candlestick came off of your 9-minute EMA line and ran up over here, and it put all this distance between the candlesticks and your EMA line. Well, naturally, your candlesticks are going to want to come back and start touching that again. So, that's, if you would have still been in this trade, that's how you would use it. But because I would have bought it on the dip, I'm looking to make just that quick play and get out. That's me. I like to take profits pretty conservatively and move on to the next play. Now, if you're the type of trader that wants to stick it out and try to squeeze it for all it's worth, then basically you would hope to see something like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. I hope it works out for you, but just keep in mind that you need to practice a lot before you just start jumping into trading real money thinking you're going to do this. And I will say that scalping is a little easier, but at the same time with scalping, you pretty much have to have your portfolio built up. You have to have the funds just to keep doing it over and over and over. Now, with scalping, I said in other videos, scalping works best, in my opinion, with the larger cap stocks. Now, with the lower cap stocks, if you're trying to scalp just a penny or two, that's very tough to do without going deep in the red. So that it's kind of dangerous to scalp in lower cap stocks like that. So if this is the style that you want to try, again, paper trade, and I recommend like 6 months of paper trading. And if you think that you don't need to paper trade for 6 months or more, I'm going to be honest with you, you're probably going to lose your money. There's no need to jump into the stock market right now when you haven't been successful at paper trading for a long period of time. And for those that watch this video and are already saying, you got this, whatever, whatever it may be, you will look back at some point, I say probably 95% of you will look back at some point and say, I wish I would have continued paper trading. So please paper trade to get familiar with this, to get familiar with anybody's style, and just so you develop your own style, and so you can see how all of this moves. But I hope this video helps you out. If you're looking for something a little bit more simple, check out the playlist for the Bollinger Bands. I have my own style on how to trade that, but I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.